B'siyata d'shmaya, we conclude another incredible week of 5 minutes of Bitachon. We're wrapping up the 14th chapter. We're going to move into the 15th and maybe the 16th, some small chapters. The end of the 14th chapter, yesterday we spoke about some incredible stories. Stories that showed us high levels of Bitachon, people that don't know where the money's going to come from. And all of a sudden, from somewhere completely different. And this just reaffirmed and proved to us this ideology of the Bais HaLevi, that we have an obligation to do ishtadlus, but that does not necessarily determine where that which we need will come from. Hashem was geyser whether we will have or not. We have to do ishtadlus. But where it will come from, which direction, that's a completely different story. Just one last story we'll bring down over here is that Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld had, the Rav of Yerushalayim, had absolutely no money. Constantly. One time his wife felt it was way too much. She went to the neighbor and she asked for something to eat, and the neighbor gave her a loaf of bread. She comes back home, and Rav Yosef Chaim sees his wife walking with a loaf of bread, and he says to her, "What's going on?" And she says, "Atkan, what am I supposed to do? We mamish have nothing." He says, "I see I have to go out to work." Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld stands up, going out to work. He walks outside. He walks down the block. He looks down. He picks up a golden coin, walks back in, hands it to his wife, and they had money. He went out to work. When one has such a high level of bitachon, where the money will come from is beyond. And of course, we reiterate that we've mentioned so many times that one has to be responsible. And that's really the hakdama to chapter 15. Chapter 15 begins, and the truth is, when you read the title, none of us should feel like we need such a hakdama, because the title says, Tzadikim are zoichim l'chol tzarcheihem b'li ishtadlos. Yes, Rav Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld could walk down the block and build up a gold coin. The Alter Navardi could have incredible stories, as well as Rav Yisrael Salanter. What does that mean for me and you? Of course, we still need to do ishtadlos. But chapter 15 just proves to us, and what all these ideas do for the average person is it teaches us that we have to have a wellspring, a reservoir of bitachon, realizing doesn't make any sense. Where in the world is everything going to come from? I have no clue. But Hashem clearly could figure it out. And let's read a few lines of this 15th chapter. Says the Bais HaLevi, Al Kain, there are circumstances that tzaddikim, that it was impossible for them to get what they need via the natural means. So what happens? You're a tzaddik. And naturally, there's no way you're going to have money. Okay. So Hashem provides in other ways. And what are his examples? So you look at his examples, and it just proves to us that this has nothing to do with all of us. Eliyahu Hanavi had the ravens feed him, bringing him food. If you look at note 55, it quotes the story when Eliyahu Hanavi is running away from Melech Achav and Queen Izebel, and he has no food. So what happens? Of course, the ravens go, fly into the palace, pick up the food, and bring it back to Eliyahu Hanavi. Rashbi, the Heligar of Shimon Bar Yochai, able to be sustained in a cave from carib and fresh growing water. Tzaddikim on the most incredible levels. And yes, they will be supported regardless of anything that they do. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give them their sustenance. Again, an incredibly high level, but just shows us, yes, keep on doing ishtadlos, but where's the money going to come from is not our prerogative. And we'll just go straight into chapter 16, which is another very high level in which he teaches us something important. Everything's important, but what happens when you tried and you tried and you tried, and it doesn't seem like there's any hishtadlos to do? So what does the average person do? You become despondent, despair, yush sets in. He can't find a job. He has a job. He can't support for his family. He tries one doctor. He tries the next. He does everything for the kids, and nothing seems to work. What do I do now? I've been learning how we have this obligation of ishtadlos. We've been learning that we have to keep on trying and trying. Yes, but when the point comes, and to be very careful, if we look at the very end of note 58, says Rav David Satin, quoting Rav Alba, be careful. Often, me and you and all the laymen amongst us, What do? We are lazy. So we blame our laziness and we say, oh, there's nothing more I could do. No, no, no. Not laziness. We're talking about someone that tried and he has 3 different jobs and his wife is working this one and he still can't make ends meet. At that moment, then you say, that's it. I did what I can, Hashem. The rest is up to you. High and lofty levels, but hopefully slowly boosting, bolstering, showing us that we have to keep on trying, but realizing at the end of the day, Hashem will make it all work out the way it's supposed to be.